Life was great. We were living in Georgia, and our family was there, a lot of the kids. I was into working out and eating well, and we loved where we lived. We both had great jobs, my husband Rick and I, and he worked for Coca-Cola. I was doing staffing and recruitment, and things were good. I just went in for my usual doctor's appointment, and I got a call from the doctor. That's never good. You never want to see that call coming through. And he had some news for me, but he wasn't 100%, so he said I just need to come in right away, and I need to bring my husband. So I was really scared, but I totally didn't think that there was something wrong. So I just said, okay, I'll come in. The doctor sat us down, and we really had no idea. Like, I knew I was really tired, and I sort of felt like I was losing my well-being. He said he did some blood tests, and he was looking at us, and he looked like he did not want to tell us the news. And so we were waiting on the edge of our seats, just waiting to hear what my diagnosis was. And that's when he said I had chronic myeloid leukemia. It's one of those things in life that you know your dreams are going to die at times. You know that your life is going to go different than you expect it to go. But at that moment, I felt like a lot of feelings were going through my head, like mourning, fear, anger. There were so many things I was thinking, and I couldn't quite process it. We went home, we looked at each other, we prayed. We couldn't really get a hold of what he was saying. It was very serious. We had to make multiple appointments. It was like things were coming at us right and left. And to be honest, it was really hard to process because we were talking about physical life. And it's one thing to think about you may be leaving. It's hard to think that you may be leaving your friends and family. It's hard to think that you are physically not gonna make it. And it's really hard to think that God has that path for you. And so we just began to process. We pulled it apart piece by piece, trying to get to the point where we trusted God with even my physical body. And that took a long time. I think as Christ followers, we expect to just say, okay, this is God's path. This is coming my way, and it's okay. But it doesn't feel okay. It feels really scary, and it feels confusing. At one point, we just had to realize He's here, and He's all-powerful, and we gave Him my life. And we read in Isaiah that the waters will not pass over me, and I will not be burned by the fires. And we clung to that, and at that point, we realized that Jesus was in control. It was really after going through a lot of chemo and really going downhill. I wasn't making it at this point, and so my husband and I decided we have to go off the chemo because it wasn't doing what it should do. And within 1 week, the FDA approved a drug that made me well again, or at least in remission. And at that point, I felt like I had Jesus-colored glasses on. I mean, I'd really looked at life so deep and so rich, and things like cleaning were fun because I could. I just wanted to love deeper and laugh louder and experience life to the full. I realized that He was ever present, and that people mattered, and I wanted to tell everyone that. I wanted to tell them they mattered. I wanted to hug them. I wanted to love on people, and I hope that I continue that every day. There's no words for the power of His name. There's no words for the power of His love or His dying on the cross for us. And so if I can go through to every person I know and just tell them that God loves them, I really try to live each day like that. Like, there's an opportunity that before I die or someone else dies, that I can tell them the love of Jesus. I really try to do that. This week, I have a couple appointments because the current drug that I'm on is possibly causing some side effects. And so I have an oncology appointment and another appointment, and we're going to see what happens. But one thing I do know is that whatever happens, whatever my future holds, I may be grumpy, but I'm going to get through it with Jesus because I know that He's got my life, He's got my plan.